walama, igwe derima, igwe derima. Ala walama, igwe derima. So be ala seme, che. Ala walama o, igwe derima. Ala walama, igwe derima, igwe derima. Ala walama, igwe derima. So be ala seme, che. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. Oh. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. Oh. Ale benikweabe bariulusine barine somadai ikweabe bariulusine barine Bariulusine barine somadai ikweabe bariulusine barine. Oh no ikweabe Joy, hallelujah, joy will be on that day. Joy, hallelujah, joy will be on that day. Joy, hallelujah, joy will be on that day. Joy, hallelujah, joy will be under them.
I'm gonna tell you a story now that happened at Portharcourt. You know, it's a garden city and it's a lovely place. Please, let's go straight to John next boy. I ain't got no money in my pocket, but the beautiful people wanna hear from me. They say they love me, they love me, they love me, they want my beautiful voice. Listen to this song, all this song can do. Listen to this song, all this song can do. Our Father, waiting for heaven, Lord.
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us this day our daily bread. Oh, oh, Lord.
Our Father, who art in heaven, Lord.
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come.
Your Excellencies, my Lord, ladies and gentlemen, we announce the arrival of the Honorable the Chief Justice of Nigeria, The special guest to this occasion, my Lord, the Honorable Justice Walter Samuel.
Well, it's been a bit of a long enough silence. We've been allowing the feeds to play up. But we can tell you that just a slight delay in the program as a result of the wait for His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Walter Onoge, who appears to be on ground now, as you can see on your screen, with the protocol officers trying to ensure that traffic is indeed flowing to allow for all the honorable justices to disembark and to allow the show indeed to begin. Now the program begins proper as the Chief Justice of Nigeria appears in the scene. Again, it's the inauguration of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria complex taking place here in Portharcourt, the River State capital. We know that an industrial court is in Bielsa. But according to the River State government, the sense behind this structure is to allow for trade disputes, which according to him are mass in the south, especially in Portharcourt, to be treated here and to allow the Bielsa division some breather in that regard.
That class here, eminently led by a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association. The very venerable Osije Okocha MFRU SN belong to that set. Your Excellencies, my lords, now still standing, and His Excellency, the Governor, as soon as he returns to his seat, we will take the
President of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Babatunde Adejumo, has been here, and he will join the team that will be welcoming the special guests for today.
To give a judgment in a murder homicide case, they wear the scarlet robe. So with all the ceremonies that go with it, so don't be in a hurry. It's not every day you have the privilege of being with their lordships today. The only set of mortals in whose hands are the power of life and death. The judge can sentence you to death. You may not like it. You may set it aside on appeal, but he has done what only he can do. So don't play with judges the same way you don't play with a FIFA referee. If a FIFA referee blows even against you, that is final. You can go and appeal to FIFA afterwards. My lords, we are honored to have all of you here. For those who are just coming in, bear with us that we are still standing. We have to allow this brief session of exchange of pleasantries to go through. River State is a very hospitable state. And from the very top of the state, His Excellency the Governor exemplifies this hospitality. He makes sure he shakes hands with everyone who has come to grace this occasion. Thank you so very much. His Excellency the Governor is not here alone. In due course, we will make that introduction. He's here with his dear wife, High Excellency the Honorable Justice Ebrechi Suzette Yesonwike, in our own right, a judge of the High Court of Justice of River State. And now the big masquerade arrives. The Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Honorable Justice Walter Samuel Nkanu Onogen, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, 15th Chief Justice of Nigeria. Now,
you may have seen the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the one everyone had been expecting.
His Excellency Chief Justice,
and now trying to take his seat, of course, with everyone standing. And of course, we will expect the national anthem to come alive
We're about to
in a
take
moment,
the national anthem in a jiffy, please. I would direct
as
that all
the
movements
governor
stop,
tries
please.
to ensure that everything is in order. It's supposed to be a straight to the point
We are set for the
event
national
today.
anthem, please. No movement. Excellencies, my lords, may I, with your kind permission, invite for opening prayer the Honorable, the Chief Judge of Bayelsa State, in her own right a pastor, the Honorable Justice Pastor Kate Aburi, CON, Chief Judge of Bayelsa, for the opening prayer. My Lord.
Our Father and our God, we thank you for this great and mighty day that has unfolded for us, a very memorable day. We want to especially thank you for what we are about to do even now. Father, we thank you most especially for His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, for these bold steps he has taken to build such structures, not only for this land, but for the entire nation's judiciary to use and for the benefit of our people. Father, I want to say thank you. We don't know how to appreciate our thanks unto you now, but we know that we continually embrace His Excellency, the Governor. We want to especially also thank you for our Chief Justice of Nigeria that has come with this large entourage of justices of the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, and other judges. Father, we say that you are so much, you are too good to us. And because of that, we say we are thanking you. We are praying and thanking you and celebrating you in the very measureless name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, my Lord. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Please, can you put your hands together? I have the presumed order of His Lordship, the Chief Justice, to ask you to clap, because this is the day the Lord has made. That Rivers State, under this very clement weather, will be playing host to a very historic event, the commissioning of a brand new court hall with all the appurtenances, built entirely by the government of Rivers State under His Excellency, Chief Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike, the governor of Rivers State. I doubt if there are many states where things like this have happened, where a governor set out from the scratch and build up a brand new court hall. It's not the first of its kind. We've done so for the Federal High Court. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just coming in here, you are coming to the arena for the commissioning of the National Industrial Court, Portharcourt Division. Your Excellency, my lords, with your kind indulgence, I have to take recognition of some of the eminent dignitaries who are here. But I will make a plea to my Lord the Chief Justice, so I don't risk a committal on an occasion like this with the creme de la creme of the different sectors here. Some of the names are still coming in. If we miss or skip your name in the order where it should be, please, I have a plea, non-air factum. Non-air factum is not my act, it's the protocol. May I therefore have the honor, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize in a very special way the governor who was prepared in the womb of time by God and delivered at the right time. A time like this, who is here to receive a very august visitor to this state. The Chief Justice of Nigeria does not lightly visit places. It's only on an occasion like this, and at the instance of the Chief Host, the Governor of Rivers State, that my Lord, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Honorable Justice Walter Samuel Nkano Onogen, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, the 15th Chief Justice of Nigeria, is here. Please put your hands together for my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Of course, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, is not here alone. I will return to his entourage after I have recognized His Excellency, the Chief Host. My Lord, the Chief Justice, we are very comfortable here in the midst of the Governor of Rivers State and other governors and leaders of the state who are here to welcome you. His Excellency, Chief Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, CON, GSSRS, Power of Sports, life bencher of the Honorable Body of Benchers, and his dear wife, my Lord, Her Excellency, the Honorable Justice Eberechi Susan Nyesom Wike, Judge of the High Court of Justice of Rivers State. We are honored to also have in the house another visiting governor who is here to show support to his comrade and brother. And we refer to none other than the one who is coming all the way from Taraba State, His Excellency Architect Darius Ishaku, Governor of Taraba State and his entourage. Your Excellency, you are welcome. Of course, we have High Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Rivers State, Dr. Ipalebo Harry Banigo, DSSROS, Deputy Governor of Rivers State. Your Excellency, you are welcome. There is also in the House a former governor of the state, in his own right a member of the bar, His Excellency Sir Celestine Omeh here, GSSROS, former governor of Rivers State. Put your hands together for him, please. And of course, there is the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Sir, Right the Honorable Ikunyo Waji Ibani, DSSROS. You are welcome. May you please, Your Excellency, I return to the entourage of His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria. It would have been remiss that His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, will be coming to Rivers State today, and a daughter of the soil of this state, who has the privilege on her behalf to sit at that apex court, is not here. It means she does not have honor at home. She's well honored at home. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as I recognize His Lordship, the Honorable Justice Mary Ukaigo Peter Odele, CFR, Justice of the Supreme Court. With Your Excellency's permission, I conclude with that entourage before I go on to the next one, so I don't return to this. His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, is also here accompanied by Honorable Justice Olukayode Ariwola, Justice of the Supreme Court. My Lord, you are welcome. And we have in the house a delectable lady, a very solid member of the profession, the President of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Justice Zainab Bulkachawa, Commander of the Federal Republic, President of the Court of Appeal. My Lord, you are welcome. You are not clapping for me. Please clap for my lords. Any one of you can leave here and go to the prison. So please do what is needful. My Lord, we also have in the house the Chief Judge of Rivers State, the Honorable Justice Adama I. Iyayelaminkoro, Chief Judge of Rivers State. Of course, you have already heard the opening prayer by the Chief Judge of Bayelsa State. I now personally recognize I in our own right as a visiting Chief Judge of our sister state, the Honorable Justice Kate Abere, CON, Chief Judge of Bayelsa State. May I humbly, with the kind permission of Your Excellencies and His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, duly recognize their Lordships, Honorable Justices of the Court of Appeal of the different divisions here present, especially the presiding Justice of the Court of Appeal Portharcourt Division, the Honorable Justice A.A.P. Gumel. My Lord, the Honorable Presiding Justice of the Court of Appeal Portharcourt Division, you are welcome. Of course, we have in the House the President of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, the Honorable Justice Babatunde Adeniran Adejumo, OFRO. My Lord, you are welcome. May it please Your Excellency that I do recognize our leaders who are in the House here, but not before recognizing all the other judges who are here, especially the former Chief Judge of Rivers State, the 6th Chief Judge of Rivers State, the Honorable Justice Ichewinenda Ndu, OFRO, LLD. We also have in the House a full complement of the leaders of the bar. Permit me to recognize the leader of the Portharcourt Bar, the Honorable O.C.J. Okocha, MFRO, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, DSS ROS, and his learned brother, the Honorable Odei Ajumogobia, OFRO, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, former Minister of External Affairs, Foreign Affairs, former Attorney General of Rivers State. We have in the House B.M. Wafer, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, OFR. I'm reminded, my Lord, that we also have on the entourage of His Lordship, the Chief Justice, a name just brought to my attention, the Honorable Justice Paul Galinje, Paul Adamu Galinje. Please put your hands together for my Lord. I'm happy that I've earlier made a plea that with the way the lists are coming, I'm not likely to claim fidelity to the strict rules. So if there is any omission, my Lord, I will say again, non a factum. My Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, we recognize our elder statesmen who are here. This is the only state where we have a house that is intact. And I have the honor of having in this house some of the leaders of our state, elder statesmen, members of the State Executive Council, they are all here. Permit me to simply recognize all of our leaders who are here, the distinguished senators and members of the National Assembly who are present, members of the Rivers State Traditional Rulers Council, their Royal Majesties. I recognize you all, and the Mayor of the city of Portharcourt. Ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to simply recognize also the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court, who is here, which means literally the Supreme Court is shut down today. When the CJN and some justices are here and the CRO is not there, all those who have business at the Supreme Court today have an alibi that they are somewhere else. Permit me, therefore, to recognize Adiza Mustafa Esquire, the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court. I hope I got the name right. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished invitees and guests who have come from within and outside the jurisdiction, it is my honor to welcome you to this historic event. In a moment, I'm going to invite the Honorable the Attorney General, Emmanuel Aguma, SN, who labored to follow the strict rules of His Excellency to ensure that this thing is not only ready, but fit and proper for commissioning today. In absentia for unavoidable official engagement, please put your hands together for Honorable Emmanuel Chinwenwo Aguma, who is here ably represented by the Solicitor General of Rivers State and Permanent Secretary Minister of Justice, Mrs. Florence Fibresima, for her welcome remarks and project description. This will be quite novel. In all our project description, we see the men doing it. Today, a lady and a lawyer is going to describe project. Please put your hands together for the learned Solicitor General of Rivers State and Permanent Secretary Minister of Justice, Mrs. Florence Fibresima. Yes.
My Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, welcome you to Rivers State. My Lord, that are here present, Your Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, my Lords, my dear colleagues, permit me to adopt the very well-established protocol by my boss, the learned head of service of Rivers State. Thank you very much for your understanding. It gives me great pleasure to give this welcome remarks. They are not my remarks. They are the remarks of my Honorable Attorney General, who is unavoidably absent, but who, like the head of service said, labored so much to ensure that today is a reality. Thank you, Your Excellency, for giving him that opportunity. He is Emmanuel Chinwenwo Aguma, SAN. I read his speech. It is with great pleasure we welcome your lordships, your excellencies, members of the Rivers State Executive Council, learned seals, my lords, your worships, learned colleagues, your majesties and highnesses, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to this auspicious and epoch event, the commissioning of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Portharcourt Judicial Division. Permit me to start by thanking the Almighty God, who showers us with good gifts, for making this day a reality. The commissioning of this very beautiful edifice, today, the 6th day of July 2018, marks the achievement of yet another feat by the administration of His Excellency, Nyesom Ezenwa Wike, CON, GSSRS, POS Africa, in ensuring world-class justice administration system in Rivers State. This is indeed one of the main thrusts of His Excellency's administration. My Lord, the CJN, I must say that His Excellency has placed Rivers State at the top echelon in terms of measuring access to justice. It is common knowledge that his administration met a crumbled judiciary and judicial system where the courts had been closed for over a year with no clear direction as to leadership and course to follow. The multiplier effect of this on all stakeholders in the temple of justice was far-reaching. Innocent and law-abiding residents of the state could not seek redress in courts and had to suffer injustice or resort to self-help. Those in prison detentions awaiting trial languished hopelessly with no courts to hear their matters. The lawyers and the judiciary were not left out. It was an era in the judicial history of the state which will not be easily forgotten or allowed to happen again. The industrial court in the state moved to other divisions to enable them hear matters emanating from the Portharcourt division. And so, from the outset of His Excellency's administration, priority not only to get the judiciary going again, but to make the judicial system effective in justice administration and accessibility to all. Judicial officers are provided with a conducive environment to carry out their duties without fear or favor. Permit me, my Lord, to clearly state that His Excellency had earlier promised not to interfere in the administration of justice and the appointment of judicial officers, to resolve the impasse in the appointment of a chief judge at the time he was sworn in, to ensure that the judiciary is self-accounting and on the first-line charge in the state's budget, to give attention and priority to the welfare of judicial officers during and after service, to equip the courts to improve their operational efficiency and effectiveness and ensure speedy dispensation of justice. True to his promises, His Excellency reopened the courts, closed for over a year. He restored normalcy and stability to the judicial system, and of course, he has introduced a merit-based appointment of judicial officers to leadership positions in the judiciary. Permit me also to state that on the working conditions of judges, his administration purchased and allocated new vehicles for judges and magistrates, accommodation for serving and retired judges of Rivers State, whether serving in Rivers State or outside the state. Now, with respect to infrastructure, the projects executed by his administration in the judiciary speak for themselves, but very humbly, let me mention a few of them. The construction and furnishing of the new High Court complex within the High Court of Rivers State, the construction and furnishing of a new ultramodern court complex for the Portharcourt division of the Federal High Court, and the renovation of the state's customary court of appeal and the customary courts. And interestingly, of course, the building of a secretariat for the Portharcourt branch of the Nigerian Bar Association. Now, very interestingly, my lords and your excellencies, as part of activities marking his third-year anniversary in office, we are here to commission the National Industrial Court, Portharcourt Judicial Division Complex. This is a fulfillment of the promise of His Excellency to provide in the state the much-needed infrastructure for our national judicial, for the National Industrial Court. Please recall, if you look into your program, you will find that on the 1st of March, 2017, we were gathered on these grounds, then merely a work site, and we had a groundbreaking ceremony for this complex. If you look through your program, you will find the pictures clearly stated to show that this building was started from the scratch to the beautiful edifice that we have here now. Now, the non-existence of a national industrial court complex in the state had caused a lot of hardship for litigants and lawyers as they had to go to other jurisdictions such as Enugu, Bayelsa, Calabar, and Owerri with its attendant costs and risk to conduct their matters. Now, gladly, it is now going to be a thing of the past, for we do have a towering edifice now to house all matters that are emanating from Rivers State. Your Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, the legal community will forever appreciate your passion and your developmental strides to visibly improve the administration of justice in the state. We thank you, Your Excellency. Permit me also at this point to give us a brief description of what we have as a National Industrial Court Complex here today. Please just look backwards. Okay, you are looking forward, sorry. I'm going to have to do the backwards. The National Industrial Court Complex is a four-floor story building, and it comprises of the following. The ground floor has the main entrance foyer. It has 2 lifts. It has the judges' entrance and lifts for the judges. It has also on the ground floor the car park, the restaurant, and the kitchen, and also a room for electrical appliances. On the first floor of the complex, there is a meeting room, a registry, and a clinic. Your Excellency will thank you that this has been added. It's indeed a very good one to have a clinic close by to attend to lawyers and other users of the court. We also have on that floor the lawyer's lounge, the litigation room, an office, a library, a convenience, and then, of course, a data room and another room for electrical purposes. The second and third floors have courtrooms. On each floor, 2 courtrooms. The judges' chambers, the judges' restrooms, the offices of the secretaries to the courts, offices of the registrars to the courts, and again, some electrical room to cater for those floors. The 4th floor of the building has 2 legal research rooms, General Administration Office, the Head of Administration Office, the Head of Accounts Office, the Head of Divisions Office, and the Secretary's Office. There is also, on the ground floor, if you look towards my own right, it will be the Security House, and also His Excellency has provided a 400 kVA generator set and also a 500 kVA transformer for the court. I thought we'll be putting our hands together for His Excellency for this very beautiful edifice. Permit me to also add that when my Lord, the President of the Industrial Court, came in 2 days ago and went round, he was so overwhelmed. My Lord, we share your sentiments. But I believe that today you'll be well and very, very grateful. You can express your gratitude to His Excellency for what we have here as the National Industrial Court Complex in Rivers State. And now, my Lord, the CJN, may I respectfully seek the leave of my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, to move a motion that my Lord, the President of the Industrial Court, should please immediately order the transfer of all pending matters emanating from the Portharcourt Division to this befitting complex, which is the first of its kind in our country for its continuation. I believe my Lord will grant my order. Thank you, my Lord, as the court pleases. We believe that it will further the cause of justice, and once again, I want to welcome you all on behalf of my Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, who is unavoidably absent, to this commissioning ceremony, and thank you so much for gracing it with your esteemed presence. We're truly overwhelmed in Rivers State. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you, the Solicitor General. Please put your hands together for the learned Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary, Minister of Justice, Mrs. Florence Fiberesima, who has applied ex parte that there be a transfer of the cases. But if I know civil servants enough, I can tell you they are already here since last week because they want to come and enjoy this new edifice. Your Excellencies, my Lord, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure and honor to request for goodwill messages, just 2. Because of the time constraint we have, we're taking only 2 goodwill messages.
From the roll call, long roll call, I should say,
the leader of the bar,
with the presence of
member of the inner bar,
justices of the Supreme
Court,
the High Court,
Honorable
many
OCJ,
of those who have accompanied the
MFR,
Chief Justice of Nigeria to this
PSSRS,
event,
JP,
to
the 19th
a
president,
very well-detailed description
on behalf of the Portharcourt bar,
this
and indeed
edifice,
the bar in Nigeria, he will give us
which
a goodwill.
stands as the national...
My Lord, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria. You're welcome, my Lord. Your Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State. Your Excellencies. My Lord, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the bar, the Nigerian Bar Association, with all the branches in Rivers State, let me also felicitate with my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, and my Lord, the Honorable President of the National Industrial Court in particular, on the commissioning and handover of this majestic and imposing edifice. For us as lawyers, we know that this, even though a direct benefit to the judiciary in Nigeria, is for us, the end users, because we will use the facilities to represent our clients as they pursue justice in these hallowed courts. I have always believed that our temples of justice must be housed in imposing and majestic edifices, such as the one before us today, so that everyone who comes here to transact business will know that something great, something good, and something important is happening in this building. So I must commend my governor, the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Chief Nyesom Ezenwa-Wike, Commander of the Order of the Niger, Grand Service Star of Rivers State, and so many other accolades for this very laudable contribution to the judiciary in Nigeria. This is not the only one. As we know, shortly we will be heading to the Court of Appeal, and I see my Lord, the President herself here, to commission the remodeled and refitted premises of the Court of Appeal, Portharcourt Division. It was not too long ago, we also commissioned, across the road there, the imposing edifice of the Federal High Court, Portharcourt Division. Your Excellency, we know that capital development for the federal judiciary should not concern you, but we understand your point. You are not only a member of the legal profession, but also a member of the honorable body of benchers, the highest body of excellence in the legal profession. You understand the importance of having courts and facilities for courts, so that we, the members of the public, and we, legal practitioners, will benefit from the facilities. Rivers State should be where all should begin and end for the judiciary in the South-South zone. And this is the ample testimony. So, my Lord Justice Adejumo, I associate myself with the application made by the learned Solicitor General on behalf of the Honorable the Attorney General. Our cases in Calabar, Owerri, Yenagoa should please be transferred back to Portharcourt without further ado. So may it please your Lordship. I want to say again that we thank His Excellency. This is one of the numerous development strides that we have seen since he came on board as our governor. Again, I associate myself with the submissions of the learned Solicitor General. These courts were virtually closed down. Indeed, they were closed down. And only recently they attempted to close them down. And I'm gratified that my Lord the CJN, right there from the Apex Court, had ordered the police to investigate that matter and know who attempted to shut down a court, a judicial complex in Nigeria. And if it is not done, I'm sure many will be tempted to attempt it. But my Lord, we as the bar will pursue that matter and ensure that the police unravels the perpetrators of that dastardly act and brings them to justice. I want to thank you again for listening. It is a glorious day, and I pray that God may bless us all. I thank you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you, our president mentor, the 19th president, who is here not just alone, but for all the senior advocates of Nigeria who are here, and quite a large number of them we've recognized, and some who just joined us. Okewale SN, Dr. Madi, Kanike SN, Mrs. Miana SN, and Wilcox Abereton SN. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, my Lord, when it is said that this court was shut, it's not just by merely locking the door and the gate. A chain was put on it with a heavy padlock and locked. So it's not in the metaphorical sense that this court was shut. It was physically shut and locked. And then, like what happened that day when two presidents met by the Berlin Wall, and President Ronald Reagan looked at Mikhail Gorbachev, he said, let the walls come crashing. His Excellency came in after he's being sworn in, and he said, let these walls, let these fetters come crashing. And he split open the fetters that shut the court and put fetters in the face and the hand of the justice. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor, ladies and gentlemen, to request at this point the ultimate goodwill from the head of the judiciary here, Rivers State Judiciary, the Chief Judge of Rivers State, the 8th Chief Judge of Rivers State, the Honorable Justice Adama Iyailominkoro, DSS ROS, Chief Judge of Rivers State. Please put your hands together for my Lord, the Chief Judge of Rivers State. At whose time and under whose watch, these beautiful things are happening. I'm making those who retire before you grin. Put your hands together for my Lord, the Chief Judge.
Thank you. Hold it for me. Yes. Thank you. Don't worry. My Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice W.N. Onogen, and all your brother justices of the Supreme Court, His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, my Lord, the President of the Court of Appeal, and all the justices of the Court of Appeal, and all my brother judges here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and rare privilege for me to address this august assembly at this epoch commissioning ceremony of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria here in Portharcourt City, Rivers State, by no less an illustrious personality than the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice W.S.N. Onogen, GCON. May I, on behalf of myself and my brother judges and the entire staff of the Rivers State Judiciary, heartily welcome my lords, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, his brother justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, the President of the Court of Appeal and his brother presiding justices and justices of the Court of Appeal, the President of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, the Chief Judge of Bayelsa State here present, and the entire entourage to Portharcourt, the capital of Rivers State. My lords, Rivers State of Nigeria, as we all know, is the treasure base of the nation, where the infrastructural developments and welfare of the people is treasured and pursued with a very high passion and unfailing commitment by the government of Rivers State under the enterprising and dynamic leadership of the Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency, Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezinwo-Wike, CON, GSSRS, Power of Sports in Africa, the acclaimed Mr. Project. My lords, Your Excellency, charity, they say, begins at home. There is no other auspicious event or moment in history of the judiciary of Rivers State than this, for me to tell our brief story as an arm of government constitutionally enthroned to administer justice in our land. For us in Rivers State Judiciary, without mincing words, we tell the story of pride and real achievements. We lack the right words to capture the milestone events in the judiciary of Rivers State for the past 3 years, or to sum up the feelings of all and sundry in the Rivers State Judiciary as an arm of government. We have witnessed development of both human and capital infrastructure through the building of an ultra-modern 2-story complex for family court, multi-door courthouse, and office complex for the Rivers State Judicial Service Commission halls. Construction of luxury 5-bedroom duplex for all judges of Rivers State Judiciary on owner-occupier basis, posh cars for the 35 judges of the Rivers State and 55 serving magistrates of the Rivers State Judiciary, release of funds to the judiciary as constitutionally guaranteed, and so on. The Rivers State Judiciary is well entrenched and able to effectively discharge their constitutional duties of administration of justice to all and sundry, without fear or favor, and our judges are well positioned to face and surmount the challenges attendant with their constitutional duties. The commissioning of this imposing edifice, the National Industrial Court of Nigeria complex, by His Lordship, which is built by the Rivers State government, is a manifestation of not only the limitless desire of the state government, His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, to extend developments beyond institutions of Rivers State government under his governance, but a clear demonstration of his unflinching support for justice delivery and the rule of law in Nigeria. Federal High Court Portharcourt Division got their own share of development with the construction and commissioning of a befitting court complex by the Rivers State government a year ago. We join all well-meaning people of Rivers State and Nigeria to salute His Excellency and congratulate the Nigerian judiciary for this uncommon historical event fashioned by the present Rivers State government. Let me take the liberty to express our gratitude to my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and all the well-meaning persons and authorities for their words of encouragement and prompt support actions during the travails of the Rivers State Judiciary on Friday, 11th May 2018, when unscrupulous litigants and criminal elements laid siege and locked out of our court complex, headquarters in Portharcourt. The unity and resolve of all the judges without reservation or evasion added with these supports avoided a throwback to the forgotten dismal dark periods of the one-year closure of the Court of Justice of Rivers State from 10th of June 2014 to 27th May 2015 until 29th May 2015, when His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike, opened our courts for business. My lords, Rivers State is safe, and our usual hospitality to your lordships is assured. You are all cordially welcome to Rivers State, and God bless you all and grant you journey mercies as you go back to your stations. Thank you very much.
As my Lord pleases. Thank you, my Lord. Please put your hands together for my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Judge of Rivers State, the Honorable Justice Adama Iyayelaminkanran, for that very scintillating goodwill message to the bar and to the bench for the use of this edifice. Your Excellencies, my Lord, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the point where we are going to hear now from the beneficiaries of this facility, the National Industrial Court, and no other person than the head of that court, the President of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Babatunde Adeniran Adejumo, OFR, for your Lordship's remark. Please put your hands together for His Lordship as he steps forward to make his remarks. You're welcome, my Lord. Please put your hands together for my Lord, the President of the National Industrial Court. You're welcome, my Lord.
My Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Onaga, GCON, His Excellency, Governor Wike, and his amiable wife, the Deputy Governor of Rivers State, the visiting Governor of Taraba State, of which I will soon be visiting and commissioning your court in Jalingo, the President of the Court of Appeal, Justices of the Supreme Court, and please permit me to adopt the existing protocol. I'm lost of words today, and I'm fully fulfilled, happy. I cannot hide demonstrating it. Why? I came to Rivers State a couple of years ago with the intention of having a court that will take care of matters arising within our jurisdiction in Portharcourt. The Chief Judge then gave me a court hall and a chambers for me to do my business. I sent a judge here. We kept here 2 vehicles, a bus and a car, our generator and all facilities. We renovated the court with our money. Only to be here for some months, the court was locked. We lost the 2 vehicles and some other facilities. I had no choice then to relocate the court to Yenegua. And the Chief Judge was kind enough to discuss with His Excellency, who gave us one of their courts, a magistrate court, and we converted it into a court, and a residence was provided. As time went on, cases were swelling. That court alone in Yenagoa could not cater for these cases. I had to send some of these cases to Wiri, some to Calabar, and some to Enugu. 15 months ago, when the Bar Center was commissioned, I was invited. I discussed with His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, sitting here, that there's need to have a court, befitting court in Portharcourt. By then we had about 950 cases pending, and that the risk, stress, and cost that litigants and lawyers are going through is too much. And he promised that within 12 months, he's going to provide a court. I thought he was joking. But here we are today. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We salute your courage. This is a federal court. You owe no business, you owe no duty investing the state money in building this type of edifice for us. But let me put it on record, unequivocally, that this is the first time any state chief executive will do what you have done. It will linger on in our memory at the National Industrial Court forever. That once upon a time a man came, Biawike, he saw and he conquered. I will remember on 1st of March 2017, when I was invited to perform the groundbreaking ceremony of this magnificent edifice, and I was asked to deliver a speech. I did say that, Your Excellency, the mere fact that you are going to build this court for us does not mean that we'll give judgment to you, and does not mean we give judgment against you, that we will deliver judgment in accordance with our oath of office, notwithstanding whose us is God. I thought that would have been enough to discourage Your Excellency if you didn't mean business. But you didn't mind me. You built this edifice, magnificent edifice, very befitting edifice within 15 months. When I came 2 days ago with the Chief Judge of Rivers State, we visited you. You were not even happy that 3 months, that the contractor exceeded with 3 months. I was pleading to you that, okay, pardon him for the fact that he has done a very good job. I need not recount the facilities that this court has. You have taught me how to put certain things in my court as well, because you went beyond what was expected. We thank you, we appreciate, and we promise Your Excellency and the good people of Rivers State that we'll make the best use of this court. We'll keep it in a very neat and tidy situation. Though Your Excellency had a discussion with me that you will help us to maintain it. And I did tell people here then, you are putting a 400 kVA generator. How do we fuel it? That I'm afraid if we'll be able to use it. You said I should not worry, that the state government will help. And that not only that, a 500 kVA transformer will be kept here, and that you can guarantee that at least reasonably we'll have light. We appreciate this. Your Excellency, sir, I thank Her Excellency, Honorable Justice Wike, if she has not given you what it takes to do the job. If he has not given you what it takes at home to do it, maybe you don't have been able to think of how to give us this type of a befitting network. We thank you, ma'am. Your Excellency, sir, I'm Oliver Twist. I want to ask for more. And I've asked for more. I will not tell the public, and I know I will tell my Chief Justice, that houses will be provided for the judges that will be presiding here. Now, reverting to the motion 5 with the permission of my Lord the CJN by the Solicitor General, application granted. As from the beginning of next legal year, which is September, I have already posted 4 judges, resident judges, to preside in the Portharcourt Judicial Division of the National Industrial Court, so that the cases here could be attended to without much delay. On behalf of my colleagues, judges of the National Industrial Court, staffers of the National Industrial Court, and all those who will benefit from these very magnificent LDVs, I thank the government of Rivers State. I thank our brothers, the Silk in this state, Okosha and Ewali. All of them collaborated quite well in making sure that this LDVs is put in place. I must thank, though in absentia, the Honorable Attorney General of Rivers State. He tried. He did everything reasonably possible. Every week he will be here. He talks to me on a weekly basis on the progress being made so far. I won't preempt my Lord the CGN by telling him what is contained in this edifice is looking in front of his. But when he gets there, my Lord will now be the best judge to say or to score whether it has passed or it has not passed. So the CJ of Rivers, I thank you very much for being a good landlord. I can assure you that those 2 courts in your premises are not yet to be handed over back to you. Please bear with me for now, but later maybe we return them back to you. We appreciate all manners of people who are here today, those I can mention and those I cannot mention, for making today a reality. My dear Governor Wike, you promised me, say you could maintain this court for some time, you could help me fuel. God will give you what it takes to keep to this promise as usual. You are not a promise breaker. God will going to bless you. All your heart desires will be accomplished. From the bottommost part of my heart, I appreciate and I thank you very much. May God continue to bless you all. Sorry, sir. Your Excellency, this is my friend. He's my classmate. Probably he to contribute in a big way. So I told him on the 1st of March last year that if you didn't do this, 86 will sack you. And I'm happy 86 will not sack him. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my Lord. Please put your hands together for my Lord, the President of the National Industrial Court.
Well, a speech from the President of the National Industrial Court, Honorable Justice Babatunde Adejumo, will be making way for the high point.
Put your hands together, not for me,
if you like,
for
the speech
Class 86.
of the Governor of River State yesterday,
my Lord, ladies and gentlemen.
And he will be addressing his colleagues as a lawyer and speaking to the people as a governor.
That has brought about what we're about to commission now. Leadership that is driven by passion. Passion that can make a man not sleep, but to think about the people and the society. On Friday last weekend, that passion was at play. When in almost about 7 p.m., under that rain, His Excellency the Governor was here on inspection. And they called me to accompany him, and it was raining. His Excellency went through every room, every facility here. He called them to open everything. He touched every part of the building. Where there is a stand, he will query them. He entered the courtroom. He entered everywhere. From there, we moved to the Court of Appeal. He entered every part of that place, querying why this is like this, why this is not like this, change that. Only a governor of the people, for the people and by the people. The man with a vision to serve his people and leave a legacy can do this. That man is none other than the governor that God gave to us at this point in time to challenge Africa that we can do it if we have it right, by having the right leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for His Excellency, Chief Nyesom, S1 Weekes CON, GSS ROS, POS Africa.
Please be seated.
Thank you, my Lord, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Grand Commander of the Order of Niger, Your Excellency, my dear brother and friend, the Governor of Taraba State, Your Excellency, the wife and the boss to the Governor of Rivers State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, my lords, the justices of the Supreme Court that came with my lord, the Chief Justice, my lord, the President of the Court of Appeal and other justices of the Court of Appeal that came with you, the Right Honorable Speaker of the State House of Assembly, my lord, the Chief Judge of Rivers State, former Governor of Rivers State, members of the National Assembly, former ministers that are here, former Chief Judge of this state, judges of the High Court of Rivers State, and Federal High Court and Customary Court of Appeal that are here, members of the bar, virtually all the senior advocates have been recognized. But my Lord, with your kind permission, let me recognize two of my friends who came in from Abuja especially to support this program. That is my dear good friends, Damian Dodo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and Ferdinand Obi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. They all came to support me. My Lord, the Chief Judge of Bayelsa State, who made it possible for me to be governor. She was the one who gave me the oath of office and the oath of allegiance, since we didn't have any Chief Judge then. So each time I see her, I'm very, very grateful. Gentlemen of the bar, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the National Industrial Company, because today is their day, maybe I forgot. I took it for granted. I will never do that. Well, when I was sitting down, the President of National Industrial Court came to me and said, I hope you will not speak too much today. I said, no, but the truth will always be told. We will always tell the truth so that this country can move forward. It doesn't matter who is involved. But now let me say for the third time, let me especially recognize the former wife of the governor and our own mother, especially, even though I've said Justice of the Supreme Court that came with you, but this especially Justice Mary Peter Odele, Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Distinguished Star Service of Rivers State. So many people may not know what DSSR is. It means Distinguished Star Service of Rivers State. So many people are looking for it, but it's not available. It's for only those who have distinguished themselves. So those of you who have it, we thank you and congratulate you. Now, for the third time in 3 years, we have gathered the legal community across the country to witness our commitment to enhancing the effective administration of justice in our state and the nation. When we assumed office, we noticed that existing judicial infrastructure, including federal courts, were both inadequate and seriously broken. The Federal High Court was severely dilapidated. The National Industrial Court did not have any courthouse, while the Sitting Court of Appeal building was in a worse state of disrepair. We consider the condition of these courts as grossly incompatible with our vision to make Rivers State a regional judicial hub. Consequently, we decided to change the quality of courthouses, including those of federal courts in the state, to actualize our quest for a truly functional judicial system. The actualization process started in earnest. In May 2017, we commissioned and handed over a new ultra-modern courthouse for the Portharcourt division of the Federal High Court. We then moved to the National Industrial Court, which initially squatted at the State High Court premises, but was later relocated, as the National President said, to Yenegua when the previous government shut down and denied public access to the State High Court premises. After reopening the courts and restoring judicial services to the state, we discovered from the case records that over 70% of the cases handled by the National Industrial Court in Yenegua were from Rivers State. We therefore saw the need to relieve our people, including lawyers and litigants, from the untold risks and difficulties associated with commuting daily to Yenegua for court sessions. Accordingly, in March 1st, 2017, we invited the President of the National Industrial Court, Justice Babatunde Adejumo, Order of the Federal Republic, to lay the foundation stone for the construction of a befitting courthouse in Portharcourt. Today, I am proud and happy that we have delivered this significant project to the glory of God and for the progress of our state and the nation. As a government, we are proud that this iconic courthouse will stand as eloquent evidence of our contributions to the effective administration of justice in the country. Against this background, permit me further to reiterate the point that our decision to spend hundreds of millions of naira in building a federal courthouse is not because we have so much money to throw after the responsibility of the federal government, but the court system, whether federal or state, serves the same purpose, and Rivers people are the primary beneficiaries of the services rendered by these courts, irrespective of ownership. We could invest such funds in further expanding road, education, and healthcare infrastructure for our people, as we are so passionately doing already. But a strong law and justice sector is equally as critical to the peace, order, safety, security, and economic progress of our state. For us, therefore, given the composite nature of the court system, whatever we can do to support federal courts located in the state to function and deliver effective services to our people is worthy of our consideration. These are the motivating factors for this project, and we have no regret whatsoever for the funds we have deployed to building this courthouse, as long as the public interest, we believe, has been well and duly served. Let me express my appreciation to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, who is here personally with a number of Supreme Court justices to commission this project. Similarly, I wish to thank the President of the Court of Appeal, who is also here with a retinue of other justices of the Court of Appeal. I cannot also fail to thank the President and judges and other judges of the National Industrial Court, as well as judges of the Federal and State High Courts who have come to witness history being made in Rivers State. Let me assure you that we are not going to abandon the court after today's handover. Accordingly, the Rivers State government will take over the regular maintenance of the court and its facilities to ensure that it remains in good condition for the purpose at all times. So, my Lord, the President, fuel will not be a problem. It is a responsibility of the Rivers State government. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an august gathering of jurists, and since such opportunities scarcely come by, permit me to offer my thoughts on the ever topical issue of judicial independence in our nation. We appreciate the input and efforts of our judiciary in sustaining our democracy since 1999. But we take a true independent judiciary to properly guarantee and protect the rule of law and democracy in our country. Sadly, Nigerians cannot still take judicial independence for granted, as the realities of our experience value the resounding constitutional guarantees on equal treatment and impartial justice to all. All too often, manifest acts of suppression, intimidation of judges, unlawful interference with the judicial process, insidious pressures, illicit influences continue to dog and clog the capacity of courts to deliver impartial justice to all. Here in Rivers State, until we came in 2015, the state judiciary remained a dependent institution and treated derogatively as an appendage of the executive arm. In sheer display of executive rascality, my predecessor in office unleashed the most invidious attack on the state judiciary and got away with impunity. First, they dared, rebuffed, and defied the National Judicial Council by foisting his personal choice as the chief judge of the state against the person duly recommended by the NJC. When the NJC protested and declared recognition of his purported appointee, he simply asked it to go to hell. Again, some of you may yet remember how my predecessor declared public holidays on the 15th and 18th of November in an attempt to prevent the High Court judge from delivering his ruling, which he anticipated may overturn the unlawful dissolution of a duly elected local government council. And then the final onslaught came when he orchestrated and ensured the shutdown of the state judicial system for close to 2 years until we took over and reopened the courts within our first days in office. Recall how political talks of a party, we must not shy away from reality when we say those who did it. Why are we saying those who did it? We know those who did it, and we are saying those who... It's not ghosts, we know. We know those who had a matter that day. So the part of who are those, we know. But God will help us. Recall how political talks of the party blocked the state high court premises on the 11th of May, 2018, in yet another brazen attempt to obstruct the judicial process to defeat the ends of justice. Till date, Nigerian police has snubbed the demand by no less a personality than the Chief Justice of Nigeria to arrest and prosecute the perpetrators of the violence against the judicial arm of government. You may also wish to recall the unlawful invasion, assault, and hunting of senior judges, including judges of the Supreme Court, into jail by the Department of State Security under the guise of fighting corruption. Further recall how the federal government continues to detain Sambo Dasuki, despite consistent orders from 6 different courts for his release. It is apparent from the foregoing that people with enormous resources, power, and influence will never cease to threaten and or exploit the inherent weakness and vulnerability of our judicial system to gain unwarranted advantage for their personal, economic, and social political interests. However, when all is said and done, we cannot, as a country, continue to tolerate the wanton abuse of our judicial system, deny citizens the right to impartial justice, and expect all to be well with our country. Against this backdrop, nothing can be more important to our country at this time than for us to secure the independence of the judiciary and ensure that it is no longer threatened by political and other interests. This is possible if our judges can stand firm on the Constitution under any circumstances and act consistently as morally autonomous agents with unshakable belief in the rule of law, human rights, and the shared values of our democracy. I declare so because all through history, Judiciary independence is fought and won by the courage, commitment, and vigilance of judges who would yield to nothing in defense of the Constitution and the rule of law. The challenge, therefore, is for the bench and the bar to resolve to stand firm against all forms of pressures, blatant or subtle, physical or verbal, that interfere with, impair or impugn the character and content of judicial decisions. Ultimately, it is the conscience of our judges that will make the difference. And until our judges are able to do justice in the face of threats, apply the law in the face of opposition from the government, resist peer pressures, and seem to be courageous, just and fair, only then our judiciary be independent and our country respected among nations. While I congratulate the Chief Justice of Nigeria on the ongoing reforms to strengthen our judiciary, I wish that, with due respect, remind you that on your shoulders rests the responsibility, hopes, and expectations of a truly independent, impartial, and proactive judiciary, a judiciary that can do justice even though heaven may fall. May God continue to bless your efforts and help you realize this vision for our nation. On this note, Your Excellency, it is my singular honor and pleasure to invite my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, to make his remarks and commission the latest National Industrial Court building in Nigeria. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless you.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, my Lords Justices of the Supreme Court, my Lord President and Justices of the Court of Appeal, President of the National Industrial Court, Your Excellency, Governor of Taraba State, the Deputy Governor of Rivers State, traditional rulers, please may I at this point rest on existing protocol. On a lighter note first, I still recollect that the application, the motion that was moved was directed at the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Court of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. I think I had no jurisdiction at that stage to say so. You should have. And I'm glad that the proper judge with the right jurisdiction granted it, even though at that moment I said the motion was ordered as spirit. But it ought to come to me by way of appeal anyway. So to say that I am happy to be here will be an understatement. You see, truth will always stand. So if you don't want to fall, stand by the truth. Number two is that let time be your witness. If time is your witness, you are sure of winning your case or your argument. Because if you rely on human memories, it may fail you. Some may say, I didn't remember. Some may say, I wasn't there. But time will always tell the truth. So, what am I saying? Whatever we have to do, let us be guided by the truth. Because at the end of the day, whether you are being diplomatic or you are telling a lie or untruth, because in our profession we don't say that you tell a lie, We say that what you are saying cannot be true. So if something cannot be true or is not true, what is it? It's a lie. But so with that, at every time, every point in time, the society will be the beneficiary of the little time that we have to spend on earth. So it is for you to make better use and very good use of that opportunity of being around. Because it is by the special grace of God that we are all here. And we are not here by accident. We are here by design and for a purpose. So I thank you for being around, and I thank the government and people of River State for this beautiful edifice. I believe, and I've been saying it time without number, that the solution to our numerous problems, because problems we must have, because we are a community of people, human beings, and we think differently, we understand differently, but that the solution to our numerous problems lies in adherence to the principles of rule of law. If we do that for 4 years consistently, you will see that everything will fall back into places. The Constitution is providing for each and every one of us. It has given us designated and special functions. And if we are to adhere to these functions and discharge them to the satisfaction of our conscience, as judicial officers, for instance, adherence to your rule of law and the constitutional provisions, then within a short while, you will see that people will now begin to realize things that are taboos, that shouldn't be done. For instance, locking up a court. How can you, in a democratic society, in a civilized society, think of locking up a judiciary? How can you say that you should deprive the judiciary of its funds, for instance, to enable it function as it should? So these are things that we have to, everybody, all other state executives should learn from the examples of what is happening in River State, and even in Lagos State, and some other states, so that the judiciary ought to be empowered. We need your assistance, the assistance of everybody. The judges have to be free and fair. I have spoken to them and I keep on telling them, they must remain firm and fair, but courageous. You know one thing, a man of integrity cannot be intimidated. You don't expect a man with integrity to be subservient. No, it's wrong for you to think that way. He cannot be intimidated because time remains his witness, because truth stands, because sacrifices must be made if we are to come out of the woods. So with this, please, I thank you very much. As I said, I am very much happy. I welcome more of this from other states, particularly all the efforts we are trying to put, all the reforms I'm trying to put in place will be meaningless if there is not sufficient funding, if the structures are not conducive. Some court halls are hell on earth. No light, no generator. The judges with their robes sweat it out, and the lawyers too. These are not good enough. We expect better days. And by the grace of God, I believe we will get there one day. Thank you very much. And God bless all of us. And
Your Excellencies, my Lord, ladies and gentlemen, for the orderly proceedings, please, we restrict the movement of those who are coming in here to their Excellencies, the Governor of River State and his dear wife, Her Excellency Deputy Governor, the visiting governor from Taraba State, the CJN.
Wait, don't push.
the Chief Justice of Nigeria.
We have heard from the governor, we have heard from the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and it's now time to take a walk to the structure itself and cut the tape to officially signal the opening of the complex for business to settle trade disputes, if you like, and of course to give us an opportunity to take a look at the different sections inside the building. It is an interesting day for the lawyers in the state, as you have them represented in their numbers. And that's the tape there where, as you can see, the governor leading his guests, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and other government officials for the ceremony, the cutting of the tapes.
The Excellencies return to the arena for the national anthem.
You're still watching a live broadcast of a commissioning of the Industrial Court in Portharcourt. We'll interrupt that to join our crew that in the Maiduguri in Borno right now at Mongonu Army Barracks for the celebration of the Nigerian Army Day. We understand the President Muhammadu Buhari just arrived. We'll take you right there to join our crew. Do stay with us.
It has independent suspensions. All the suspensions are all from Axotech in France. If you look at it, all the parts used in making them, they're all from the world powers all over the world. Then it has a flooding of 1.2 meters. It has a side slope of 45%. It has central tire inflation. It has run flat tires. The run flat can take you for kilometers, and then it can withstand mines of 80 kilograms. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Excellency, right now we ordered 8, and this is the first 2 that they have delivered to the Nigerian Army. Thank you, sir.
Very much. I'm very pleased that there is a lot of national input in this production, make it perhaps more affordable federal government to provide the army. I'm pleased to be briefed on this national in technology transfer. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The President has just unveiled the MRAP. The mine resistance ambush protected vehicle made in Nigeria has just been unveiled by Mr. President. He's going to the MRAP now. This MRAP was produced by Profos Nigeria Limited, the first of its kind produced by an indigenous company.
Thank you so much, Yusuf. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. At the moment, the special guest of honor had just concluded unveiling the first indigenous mines resistance and ambush protected vehicle, also known as the MRAP. And at the moment, he's taking an inspection of the vehicle. He has just boarded the vehicle, taking a look at the various combinations of values added to that vehicle. May I inform this graceful gathering that the just unveiled MRAP is known as the ARA. ARA in Yoruba language translates to thunder. It's christened ARA, also known as thunder. It is a 19-ton mine-resistant ambush-protected MRAP. At the moment, the special guest of honor is now about to commission the first Nigerian Army helicopter prototype, also known as Patience, named after one of our fallen heroes, Patience Bian.
This Nigerian Army Helicopter Prototype 1 project commenced on the 26th April 2016 and is currently being undertaken in Nigerian Army Central Workshop located at Rigachuku, Kaduna by Captain S.S. Ogundili of the Nigerian Army Electrical and Mechanical Engineer Corps. The project suffered some setback at various times of its development and was subsequently halted in its first tests and trials. This was as a result of the fatal accident resulting from the failure of the rotor shaft bearing that disconnected the blade from the rotor assembly. The accident resulted to the death of late 98 NA/46/2643 Sergeant Patience Bion, a staff of Headquarter 1 Division Physical Training Group. The victim was officially errant to the unit but went to the test location to watch the helicopter prototype. Consequently, a board of inquiry was conducted after the death and the outcome forwarded to Army Headquarters accordingly.
Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, shall we please rise for the national anthem? Distinguished invited guests, you may please take your seats. The special guest of honor for Nigerian Army Day Celebration 2018, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, here suitably represented by Honorable Muhammad Mongono, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Defense, distinguished Senator Abubakar Kyari, the Chairman, House Committee on Defense, here suitably represented by Honorable Mohammed Nuru Sharif, and other members of the National Assembly here present, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State,